I'm an El Paso native. I graduated from Bel Air H.S, and so I love being from the Lower Valley. Very proud of that. And I graduated from UTEP with a bachelor's in psychology, a minor in biology, and I decided that wasn't enough. So I received a certification. I attempted a certification for human resource professionals, and on my first attempt got that. Still wasn't enough, so I also went for my master's also at the University of El Paso, Texas at El Paso, and that was a master's in business administration. Loved that course, and UTEP, wonderful school. I'm glad I did both at UTEP. I am a mother of 3, and I have 2 children serving active military, and I have 1 more left, so excited to spend some quality time with him now that I'm done with the other 2, but very proud of all 3 of them. I just returned from Washington, D.C. We were out there for 5 years with the FBI Counterterrorism Division. Enjoyed that job, a bunch of phenomenal co-workers, and the mission was just fabulous in that we could protect our country, folks here at home and abroad. So that was 5 years, and I returned back to El Paso to take a position with the FBI El Paso Division as a community outreach specialist. And that just spoke to my heart. I love this community, and I'm proud to be back home and represent El Pasoans and represent the FBI simultaneously. So being that liaison for our community is just, I couldn't be more grateful. Some of the interests I have, I like leatherworking. I'm picking that up, and it's been almost 20 years that I attempted that, so that's one of my hobbies. I also like working in the community. Before I left for DC, I was involved with the El Paso Police Department as a volunteer liaison for the crime prevention units. I also was on the executive board for the Neighborhood Watch Association, and again, liaisoning and trying to already address what the resource that we have in this community, which is the cooperation and the cooperative spirit we have with local law enforcement. So I said, let's keep that going. Let's keep that positivity going. And those are some of my interests, is volunteering in the community. I enjoyed working for the FBI, and that's what I currently do now. As I said, I'm a specialist. And that involves the community outreach with programs such as the Citizens Academy. We also have UTEP Student Academy, and we also have programs with the high schools and some of the junior high schools, and we even have programs for the elementary schools, such as adopt-a-school programs, junior special agent programs, and we also do reach out to anybody that just wants to know a little bit more about the FBI. They maybe not had many dealings with them, or they think it's beneficial to their group to learn something new about the agencies that work within their community. So that's what I'm currently doing. Words of wisdom. I would say keep on your dreams, because God put that dream in you and He didn't put it in others. So sometimes you may be surrounded by folks that don't understand where you're going, but keep going. The dream is put in you for a reason. Inherently, women are leaders. They're leaders in their home. And the word of advice is to take care of yourself as a leader. Look for leadership opportunities wherever you are. I firmly believe in leading from where you stand. And as a woman, the opportunities are everywhere. You just need to give yourself permission to take up any leadership position and keep developing those skills. An aha moment was when I learned to accept the things that I was resisting. And when you do that, there's this calm that just washes over you. And it was beyond an aha moment, but to learn to accept yourself for who you are and move forward. But it was a definite aha moment to stop fighting myself. I would say Jimmy Carter. He was an example to me growing up in the 70s of what a leader should be. He was kind. His background was humble. He demonstrated skills of what it is to work hard and still be humble. And he obviously rose to such a high echelon, the highest echelon in our country. But he kept true to himself, and he really was a public servant in all kinds of ways. So I would really like to speak with Jimmy Carter, especially now that he celebrated, I believe, his 96th or 94th birthday, somewhere around there. Um, just I think it would be so great to speak to him, and his wife Rosalind. If they're always together. So I would like to witness more family support. We're so focused on getting our businesses ahead and our organizations ahead, our country ahead, but we're losing the fundamental block of all of this, which is the family. I would like to see a big effort into supporting all kinds of families, single moms, traditional families, because that's the fundamental building block of our civilization, is that family. And to have good citizens come because of a family that was able to stay together through all kinds of situations is more effort put into the family. I'd like to visit Italy, and I've always been curious about visiting Italy. They are very family oriented. They have such a history that we've all read about in textbooks, and to actually go and visit the things that I read about in the textbooks, the Colosseum and the food and the architecture, just everything. And I actually practiced Italian a little bit, so I want to see if I'm going to pass the test. A quote that inspires me. Again, I like the "stand from where you lead" quote. There's such a competitive nature sometimes for leadership positions that people kind of forego the opportunities that are right in front of them. That's something I learned recently in our organization, and I took it to heart, and it opened up a lot of opportunities for me that I was just not framing the right way. So lead from where you stand. I just finished reading the book of Nehemiah, and I was reading a different frame. I was looking at leadership guidance from a biblical perspective, and so there was a recommendation to read the book of Nehemiah. And again, it's still a lead from where you stand approach. The Bible's full of characters that you would never think would be leaders. They weren't the best in their field. They weren't the brightest. They weren't the strongest, and still they became leaders. So the book of Nehemiah is really, really good on some of the leadership advice. I'm currently reading, I just started From Good to Great. I'm excited to see what everyone's talking about, but that's on my next list, is a book called Good to Great. My musical playlist. Okay, so I'm going to show who I am. I have a CD, don't judge me, and it's of the group called The Animals. That's what I have in my car right now. My life as a woman is challenging. From my perspective, just to be honest, it feels like there's a lot of scrutiny for you as a mother, as a professional, as a citizen. So it's challenging, but if you focus on those leadership skills in those three roles, I think after a while you kind of don't see that anymore, but you have to address it. There is a lot of it, and you have to learn how to deal with it in a very positive manner. So it's challenging, but rewarding, very rewarding. What I love about El Paso is the people. I really love the people. I'm proud to be in El Paso, and I will market El Paso to anybody that's willing to listen. And the community just comes together, and that's not something you see in other cities. It's the largest small city you'll ever know. Everybody knows each other, and it's a positive. When something goes bad in the community, we all come together, and you just don't see that in many other places, and it's a gem. It really is. By maybe marketing some of the welcoming committees, I think El Paso can be more inviting by marketing some of the welcoming committees that exist. There's one on the west side. And I didn't know until I started just one-on-one with some of my neighbors. So if there are more, great, let's market those. If they're not, then let's stand some up, but really promote the welcoming committees in this city. What the world needs now is love. I know that's cliche, but in times like these, with COVID, with some of the social unrest and the issues that we're facing as a country, it's true more now than ever. We really do need love. One of the gems of El Paso that I think everyone should try, especially at the beginning of their visit to El Paso or their trip, is Scenic Drive. You get an overview of what El Paso looks like, and you can see 2 countries and 3 states all at once, and see the simplicity of this area. To me, the simplicity of El Paso is its beauty, and you can start by taking a view from Scenic Drive. My personal message to El Pasoans is let's stay together. We're in this together, no matter COVID, social unrest, changes in technology, whatever changes we have, we're in this together.